So, I'm in my 20s and I don't know what I'm doing. And the thing is, you of course, you don't even have to be in your 20s to like watch or relate to this video. You could be however old, young you are, whatever, to relate to this. I'm sure everyone will relate to this on some level. So, I was hanging out with my dad the other day. I was having a couple of drinks with my dad. And mind you, for context of the video, I'm like 22 now. I was talking to him, right? So I was telling him about how the 4 years I spent in high school felt a lot longer than the 4 years I just spent for the past 4 years living my life, right? And that was a realization that I came to a while ago when I was talking to my cousins, but that's another conversation. Uh, but the thing is that you will never be as young as you are than you are now, and I accept that. And I know what a lot of people are saying too is that like, oh, you're 22, you're young, which true objectively, yeah, that's true. But and you know you see like the stereotype online on like Instagram or whatever the uh e- early something 20 years old that feels like they're running out of time, and it kind of does feel like I'm running out of time, man. So here's the thing. This is going to be very ironic considering this is a YouTube video. But if I could give any advice to just people my age or just people in general, hop off the internet every now and then. And I'm more so speaking to myself here because, I'm trying to make this YouTube channel. I made a whole other YouTube channel before. And, everybody wants to make a career off the internet. That's how it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I generally just unplugging and just staying off the internet every now and then is just what you have to do, dude. Because I know, like comparison is the thief of joy. You hear that all the time, but it's true. I feel like that's something we do both consciously and unconsciously sometimes. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm in my 20s. I don't know what I'm doing. That's the fact. I'm pretty sure I just blew up my mic, but whatever. I'm sorry. Uh, if One thing I've also realized too is that in order to conquer this life, the only way to persevere in this lifetime is to live it. You got to live life before you persevere, and that's just how it is, man. You know, don't don't try to you don't have to conquer the world every single day. Push yourself. You should definitely push yourself. Push yourself past your limits when you can, but we can't be too hard on ourselves because it is the world's job to be hard on us. And that's a quote my mom told me. But uh but but it's true though. It really is true. I mean, it is the world's job to be hard on us. And right now, the world is very, very, very difficult on us as people. It's very difficult. I don't even want to get into the shit that's happening in the real world right now because this YouTube channel is my comfort place. This is where I go to put my shower thoughts into. And one day I will upload a real video. I promise. I'm gonna upload a real video. I swear. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber now. I swear. I'm gonna upload a real edited video. It's gonna be good, and you're gonna like it. I swear. But yeah. Uh, that's just how it's been recently, man. That really is just how it's been. It's like you know my hours are similar to most people. 40-hour work week, 2 days off, work 5 days a week. And here's the thing, man, those 2 days go by fucking fast, dude. They go by fast. They go by real fast, and that's the problem. Because like whether they're like and you better hope those 2 days are grouped together and not separated. Because if they're separated, you're not gonna relax on either one of those days, buddy boy. Because here's the thing: 2 days off is realistically one day off. Because at the very least, one of those days is gonna be dedicated towards doing the groceries, uh, doing some kind of chores, taxes, so on and so forth, whatever. one of those days is gonna be filled with non-related work. You know what I mean? Like that just goes without saying. But 2 days isn't enough, man. Like I'm thankful I got my 2 days off grouped together. But I'm on my second one. I'm on my last one now, and it's like I got a morning shift. My boss really fucking hates me for no reason. So I got a morning shift immediately after my second day off. So it's like I can't even stay up late on the second night. You know what I mean? I like staying up late. I'm a night person. I'm a night person. If I had it my way, I would be like completely nocturnal. I would literally be a vampire and like be awake during the night and sleep during during the day, like a weird fucking night vampire person. But it's true, man. It's true. Like 2 days off. Because the thing is that like I'm an artist, right? I'm an artist. I like to draw. I like to edit videos and shit. I like to. I mean, hell, I mean, like just recently, I've been getting back into like writing stories. Like I'm in the middle of like writing this horror story right now. So we'll see where that goes. But the thing is that I like creating shit, right? Whether it's good or bad, I want it to be good, but 9 times out of 10 it's not. But that doesn't matter. Whether it's good or bad, I like creating shit, dude. Yeah, that's what I do. And when you create shit, you need time to create that shit. You really do because I I will of course draw or write or do whatever any day of the week. Uh, Especially writing, because I can just pull out my phone and pull out Google Docs, write a couple sentences, and just put it back in my pocket. So writing I can literally do whatever. But there's something about like trying to do all that on a work day, and I don't know if I don't. This is gonna sound weird, but it just I need time to create my shit. You know what I mean, dude? I just need time. And the thing is what was I just getting ready to say? Oh yeah, 2 days, 2 days off. That's not enough time for anything. It really isn't enough time for anything. Like I feel like no matter what, and this doesn't just have to do with like work and work life balance. Well, this is work life balance. I don't know what I'm talking about, but no matter what I do in the moment, it feels like I'm moving very, very slowly, if not at all. Right. So let's say it's yesterday morning. Let's say my 2 days off just began. Right. Uh, I, normally, and like I said before earlier in the video, I had a couple drinks with my dad. So, that alone was worth a day off. But let's say I didn't do that. So normally in any like given circumstance, I would be stuck between, okay, what do I do? I have enough time to focus on my art, focus on drawing. I have enough time to try, record a YouTube video right quick, record a rant right quick, or, edit a real YouTube video, which I am doing. I promise I'm doing that. You're going to see a real YouTube video. Or I could, you know, like read comics because I really, really fuck with comics. I've been getting back into comics a lot recently, man. I've been reading all the absolute ultimate shit, of course. I just got the omnibus for Jeff Johns Green Lantern, Brightest Day, Blackest Night. I bought a few comics actually. I bought a few. Yeah, I really like comics. I really like comics. I bought the compendium for Tech Jacket. You don't know Tech Jacket. He's in the same universe as Invincible. I'm a huge comic book nerd. I love comics, but it feels like there's so much shit that need, I both need and want to do, and there's just not enough time to do it. And if we're gonna circle back to the whole like being in your 20s thing and not knowing what you're doing, we as a society have glorified 20s, right? We have glorified our 20s. We have glorified our 20s so much so to the point where anything older than 20s is deemed old, which isn't fucking true. I would go so far as to say 20s, 30s, and 40s, yes. 20s, 30s, and even fucking 40s, yes, are considered young. That is to me at least. And you know what? that sounds absurd, but I mean, like, the thing is that one of the reasons that is the way it is because a lot of people don't take care of their bodies, so like all their shit starts shutting down by like early mid 30s, and it's like like just like eat some fruit and just eat some fruit every now and then, and like do a push up or two, and you're good. That's really all it takes. Like I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm built like fucking fancy pants, dude. I'm literally a stick figure. But yeah, a lot of people don't take care of their bodies like a little bit in their 20s, and because of that, they start to break down like during their 30s. And it's like because of that, everyone says, "Oh, 30s and 40s, you're old, haha," which like you're literally not. Like just as I said before, I'd even consider 40s being young. I'd even consider that being young because my parents throughout my life have been in pretty good shape. So just seeing them in that age, and like they're not like fucking like Olympians, they're not like Captain America and shit like that. But like it's I don't like how we glorify them, and I feel like even now as I'm trying to go against that stigma, it still has a hold of me anyways because still, I want to get to a point where, at the very least, during my late 20s, I've like because everybody wants to be like the guy. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be the guy, and that's usually what it comes back to, right? Like everyone wants to be the the guy that everybody knows, the guy that everybody talks about, the super young dude that is you know most definitely in their 20s, still young, still whatnot, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but just you don't have to obsess over that age range to begin with. But if you're in your 20s like me, it's as I said before, the only way to conquer this life is to live it. You gotta take it one day at a time. You gotta take it one day at a time. You gotta do what you can. It's like that one Boondocks quote. I'm gonna sound like uh I'm gonna sound like an idiot trying to recite it, but it was that one Boondocks quote where he was like, "Grandpa, what do you do if there the the grandpa said you do what you can. Do what you can." That's what that's what it was. That's what he said. But yeah, you gotta take this shit one day at a time, and don't be too hard on yourself either. Don't be hard on yourself, dude, because there's so much crazy shit going on in the world. And the fact is, and another thing that I want to get into, I'm really glad I remember this just now. It is not entirely your fault. As a matter of fact, I'd go so far as to say a lot of the shit, maybe not most, maybe most, depending on your circumstances, but a lot of the shit that's wrong with your life right now isn't necessarily your fault. And that's just how it is. It's not, you know. We live in a very evil world. We live in a world where, you know, I already told, I already said I wasn't going to talk about shit happening in the world, but we live in a world with evil people. A- And those evil people, those evil rich people have done everything, absolutely everything legal multiple times, at least 100 times over, and they've gotten so bored to the point where the only thing that can entertain them, the only thing that can sustain them, is the torment of people that they deem below them, which is, yeah, people like you and me, unfortunately. But that's the thing, man. Like a lot of the shit in your life isn't your fault. Like job market right now, you probably wish you had a better job. I know I did, and I know I do. I still want a better job, but it's like, hey, that's not your fault. Job market's fucked up. Again, when it comes to money issues, again, uh, stuff like minimum wage isn't being raised. Stuff like if you work at a restaurant, you make money off tips. People can afford to can't afford to eat out, as much these days, let alone tip. And realistically speaking, I there shouldn't tipping culture is kind of fucked up the market. And I say that as someone who used to be a server. I mean, like, don't be wrong. Always tip your always, please, for the love of God, always tip your waiters and bartenders and your barbers and everybody, because like Seriously, dude, I would give anything to go back to serving tables right now, dude. I made so much money off of it. Like if you like, dude, it is like if you find a halfway decent restaurant, if you find like go to it like when people think, okay, I'm gonna go on a tangent right quick. 'Cause another one. If you could find like a halfway decent dive bar to serve tables at, dude, you can make crazy ass tips. I'm talking about like a dive bar, like a true like an Irish pub, not like a fucking like Rocket Grill. I've never worked at a Rocket Grill before, so yeah, if you do, I'm sure you make good money. But I'm just joshing around. But go to like a pub. It doesn't have to be any fancy restaurant where you have to recognize 40 different menus and you have to know the exact detail of every single. No, you don't have to do that. As a matter of fact, I recommend you don't. Because I tried working at one of those once and I wanted to self destruct. I hated it. I literally hated it. But no. Always tip your waiters, your bartenders, and your barbers especially. I know barbers have nothing to do with restaurants, but still. Uh, but yeah, dude, you gotta take care of yourself, man. Don't be too hard on yourself, man. If I'm gonna bundle it all back into what I was talking about earlier, don't be too hard on yourself, man. Like, please don't. It's there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world, and believe it or not, whether you believe it or not, honestly, a lot of the shit that's wrong in your life is not your fault. It isn't, and you're doing a good job. Uh, yeah, is that everything? Do I have more to talk about? What else do I want to talk about? Uh, uh, no, I think that about covered it. Yeah, probably upload another rant and a real YouTube video. I promise you're gonna get one. You're gonna get a real YouTube video. It's gonna be edited. It's gonna have like it's gonna be good. You're gonna love it. All right, this is a stranger signing out. I'm in. Oh God, no, I lied. I still have a bit more to get off my chest. Uh, so I know I've been like scatterbrained. They've been hopping from subject to subject. I'm talking about a video of being in your 20s, and I was talking about serving tables, which that's what being in your 20s is basically all about, to be honest. But one thing I forgot to mention just now is that and people talk about this hypothetical a lot. If I could go back in time with the information I had now, like let's say I wouldn't even go back. I wouldn't even have to go so far back to like graduation. I'll be honest. I fucked up. I fucked up just a little bit, but I didn't fuck up that hard. So I wouldn't have to go all the way back to high school graduation. Give me like let me go back to when I was like 19. Actually, no. Actually, yeah. Let me go back 3 years. I don't need like the full four. If I could go back 3 years with the information I have now, dude, game over. And you hear people talk about this hypothetical all the time because it's true. Like if I knew everything I knew now back then, what would I do differently? How would I like better myself? But it's true. And to go back to the thing I said earlier, you will never be as young as you are now. So, with that being said, I think honestly, honestly, I think we should just focus on having fun. I really do just think we should focus on having fun and living in the moment because there is very scaringly little that is in our control today. There are very few things that are in our control as people and as 20-year old today. Am I dyslexic? Do I know how to talk? Is there something wrong with me, dude? I don't know. But very few things are in our control. Almost sure. Uh, but it really is true though, because the thing is that I didn't go to college. I started working immediately after I graduated, so I was able to save up a decent amount of money. But still, even now, like I'm at a point where like I can't even save a whole lot because I don't have like the same job that I did back then because I had to quit that. I had to quit a few jobs 'cause I had to deal with some bullshit. You know how it is, and I can make a whole other rant video about that. I think I will probably, but if there's anything that we should focus on right now, it's having fun. Like I said before, I like comic books. I just bought a fuck ton of comic books, dude. I could literally spend thousands. I could spend of thousands of dollars on comic books. I really could. I already have. I've been buying, trades and omnibuses since like high school. Since like before the lockdown. But yeah, that's my advice, man. Have fun and be easy.